click on over.
Click.
3, 2, 1. We're live? Question mark. 'Cause I don't have a camera on. I think we have the audio displaying. I think everything's going. Welcome to Tuesday night with DM Adam at the wheel, where we're playing D&D Waterdeep Dragon Heist for another session. And we might as well just kick off and get right into it. Adam, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I think last session we had technical difficulties, so it never got streamed. So we should give a recap of that at least.
Oh, that's right. It didn't get streamed. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So you guys went through a Xanathar Guild hideout. Eventually encountered a poor man getting beaten up by a half-orc with a flaming fist. And what looked like a mind flayer sitting behind them, stroking a brain with feet. Quickly, the mind flayer took off through a portal, but its creature, the intellect devourer, zapped Corvo and dropped him pretty good. Which I didn't intend to take you down that fast, but just happened. As I often as a dungeon master, you're like, oh, that just happened, and you just have to go with it.
It was fun. It was good times. So it's always great to see a character drop at first level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I actually like dropping characters. I don't like actually killing characters, but I like wounding characters.
You sadistic bastard.
So you discover that the person who was being beaten up was Floon Blagmar, the guy you were looking for. Mistaken for Rainier Neverember? Yeah, Rainier Neverember. You brought him back. He was a little worse for wear. Brought him back to the Yawning Portal. Then you spoke to Volo, and he did not have the funds to pay the amount, but he did give you the deed to a house called Trollskull Manor in Trollskull Alley, which is in the North Ward, I believe. And I think you guys were just getting to Trollskull Manor, where we faded to black with the image. I'll bring up the image, actually, of Trollskull Manor, because it's pretty awesome.
It's going to be needing a little bit more than paint and spackle to fix it up, though.
And that's why you decided just to go home, because you own your own manor.
Yep.
In town. Later, guys, have fun with that. We're just can we sleep at your
I
house
invited
today,
all
Corvo?
of you.
Can we please sleep at your house? We don't want to sleep in a haunted house. Why is my channel unhosting again? Does anybody else see that? Did that happen to anybody else?
I'm seeing
weird.
Because we are streaming.
Yes, and it's us in here that I see.
On my Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know why it's showing something else on mine.
Well,
It's showing something else on mine as well.
On mine it shows all of our icons or whatever, but then the chat window is really.
Oh, it's because I clicked on the picture.
Oh.
For the stream. I'm just going to refresh my page. Okay, now it shows we're live. It showed Praetor's Rejects again. But now I got commercial. Okay, we're back. No. It was all blurred out because I clicked on the picture to zoom in.
Yeah, I'm getting a delay of it through someone's mic or something.
Weird.
Because I've got my Twitch muted, but I'm hearing it in the background still.
My Twitch is muted also.
Mine is muted.
I'm hearing no feedback.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost, Wes. Okay, there we go. That looks proper.
Alrighty. So I revealed, because I was having trouble last night opening doors for everybody, so I just decided to reveal the whole first floor of Trollskull Manor. Because it just simplifies things. So feel free to explore.
Is that bloodstain or is that urine?
Both.
Oh. Okay.
Imagine it's right next to a bar, so it could be any bodily fluid.
So there's like detritus kind of scattered about the bar. There's like broken bar stools. Like it seems like there was like a bar fight that happened, and maybe they just didn't have enough money to like repair everything, so they just like abandoned ship. So things are like worse for wear. There are some dusty glasses on the shelves, but a lot of them are like just broken on the ground behind the bar.
I'd like to open this trap door.
Trapdoor.
Sure. So as soon as you kind of pry open the trap door, it's like swelled with like whatever liquid has like put onto it. So it's a bit hard to get open, but once you get it open, all of a sudden you're like assailed by this like vinegary smell and stale beer smell coming up from the cellar below.
Sweet. Red
Should
wine
have been a
vinegar.
mimic.
You can do this one.
Oh, okay, we went down it. I went down it, apparently.
I just want to reveal it for you, so we can token.
Hello.
But that's what you're looking down into.
Do I have dark vision? Yeah.
I don't think so. I can double check that for you.
Yeah, I gotta get
Where's those stairs lead to?
Oh, so like these ones here?
No. These ones.
Those ones. That's where you came down through the hatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's. I'll do some exploratory searching in this area.
Sure. Want to do roll and investigate to sift through things?
Pardon me.
I noticed with all your rolling, Mike, that the rolling for your hit points doesn't seem to work in your favor.
Oh, I used the average. I was just playing around with it. I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Meryl,
we could do that, right? Take the average?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can either take the average or... Meryl, what you notice down there is the vinegar smell are these like casks of wine that have spoiled. And so you can like even just open one of them up and you can just tell it's turned to vinegar. Everything's just been like left as it is. Like, it really does seem like something caused people to like leave this place and just like not even clean up, just leave it as is. So there's like all this spoiled stuff down in the cellars.
So I got a rolled a natural 20 on my first roll, and I discovered that red wine turns to vinegar if you leave it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. You found spoiled wine. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're going to open up a vinegar shop, guys.
Yeah,
One thing you do notice about this kind of tavern is there's no stairs going up, and that's because the stairs are actually from the outside that lead into the second floor. So the actual house above is separate from the tap room below, so that kind of can separate things if you were to open things up as like a business or something.
Interesting.
And hold on a sec, I'm going to take a random roll. Okay. I am picking on Zazel. Does 17 breach your armor class, Zazel?
Yes, it does.
All of a sudden, a glass from behind the bar flies off the shelf and breaks against the side of your face, just dealing 1 damage.
Okay, she'll yelp, and she's going to look over at the glass and while she jumps over the other side of the bar and takes cover.
I blame Deathclaw.
Everyone else, Corvo and Hazek and Meryl, you can roll a perception check.
All of us? Or am I still?
Well, if you're still in the cellar,
You're still in the basement.
then
What
you're-
the
Why am I
hell
still
was
down
that?
there?
Because you're a turtle and you're slow. And
Yeah.
Hey guys, what just happened? I can't get out of there. How do you track my token back?
Just drag it
Thank
back
you.
over. Yeah, there you go.
Did I not? Oh, maybe because you can't go through
I can't
the
go through walls.
separating sections.
I was able to.
I deleted all the walls in the actual house, but I still partitioned off the floors. Otherwise, it'd be total anarchy.
I think
So,
Meryl's the
Meryl-
ghost. He can go through walls.
Meryl, you noticed that the glass seemed to fly off the shelf all on its own.
Okay.
Is this place haunted?
Be like
I feel the
it
property
seems-
value going down as we.
It's so
seems
good.
that way.
It's almost
The
like a
glass
mobile home.
Flew off the shelf. I noticed.
Adam, did we rest at all, or are we still? Is Zazel still pretty banged up?
Well, you guys can have full hit points. -1 for you, Zazel. The glass of the
You
face.
got it.
Wah,
Yep.
wah, wah.
Suddenly, the room gets really cold, and you can actually see the pipes coming up from the base. Oh, I forgot to describe that. Meryl, one thing you
Yes.
do notice down in the cellar
Uh-huh.
is that the tavern pipes that were attached to like the kegs of beer are actually in good working order.
Oh.
You might have to get them cleaned out because they might be like kind of moldy on the inside, but if you get them professionally cleaned out, it looks like they might function well for your tap room.
Well,
But you guys see the pipes that are coming up from the cellar on the bar start to like frost over.
Ooh.
And then in the frost, on kind of like a broken piece of mirror, you see kind of like the words start to form in the frost, kind of scratched in the frost. And it says, "Get out."
Is there a mug that I can set beside the pipes so that I can get a frosty mug as well?
Sure, yeah. If you place a glass near the pipes, it starts to kind of frost over as well.
Sweet.
Dirty, dank, frosted mug.
Yeah, it's still dusty.
It's okay.
Dust won't kill you, right?
I just pull out a flask from my pocket and fill it up.
Nice.
The alcohol in it will clearly kill whatever is in that mug.
so, yeah.
The booze will actually help you tolerate the grand tour of this place.
Yes.
Quintus pokes his head up. What is going on?
What did I miss?
We have a ghost.
Okay. This isn't my first ghost.
It isn't?
No.
Is the one haunting your tail still there?
I didn't have a ghost haunting my tail.
That's unfortunate.
I feel like that should have been like a setup for a good joke.
So Corvo brings up maybe there's another floor we can explore and get to the bottom of this.
Or the top of this.
I was gonna say the top.
Ta-da.
Is there?
Oh yeah, you guys came from the bottom. I
Does
get it.
staircase go up?
So you have to go outside and kind of wander around to go up. Now,
Yeah, there might be a important plot point when we walk out of here.
You guys.
Can I, before we leave, can I... Oh, go ahead. Pop.
Sorry.
No, you may not.
No. No exploration for you. There's more stairs.
Don't forget Deathclaw.
Oh no!
Where are we? Oh, over there. Oh,
Oh, there.
Merle.
So, right away you come into like a common room, fireplace over here.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a dusty window here.
I assume this fireplace is connected to the one downstairs.
Yeah.
Crawl down and find out.
I cleaned the window so no messages can appear on it.
Is this just like a normal room?
Yeah,
Like
it's just
waiting room or?
What you're in is kind of like a common room.
Okay.
Uh,
So when I bust open this room door, I assume it's going to be like a bedroom, maybe?
so above here is kind of a den. Sort of like a reading den. It leads to like the lower part of the turret, which is here. You kind of from the outside, you see that there's kind of like a turret tower.
Yeah.
And this looks like the kind of like lower nook of that turret tower. Probably a good place for like a reading room or like a wizard's library.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go out on the veranda?
Yeah. It's a bit like rickety. You're like, oh, I think I'd have like maybe someone from like the Framers Guild have a look at the posts and make sure that they're stable.
I'm a hobbit, so I don't weigh that much.
But yeah, it's nothing that it's not like going to break imminently, but there is that concern.
Okay.
There are two doors here side by side? Or
Yeah.
what's
One's
going on
leading
to it?
outside.
Go out on the other
Like
veranda.
that's a veranda there.
Kiss you on the veranda.
This veranda faces the front of the building, out to the front of the street.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything unusual there? No?
Other than the fact it needs a rocking bench.
You don't. Yeah, there's just another like bigger building across the street from that vantage point.
We should go meet our neighbors.
That's a whole other tour. The tour of Troll Skull Alley.
What's this?
Yeah,
room
there's
all about?
so there's a bedroom right there. Again with a fireplace there.
I call dibs.
You can actually see through this fireplace into this kind of spare room. It's also a bedroom, but it's a smaller spare bedroom.
I'm small, so I'm going to go ahead and crawl through
Sure.
and investigate this smaller room.
Again, it's just most of it's like this upper portion is not as like strewn with stuff as the lower tap room. It's just sort of like been left with like beds unmade that now have like moth-eaten holes in them and like, but there's still like kind of bed frames and stuff like that and like night tables aside. But you might have to like change the linens and inspect the mattress.
What we need is an 80s cleaning montage.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Possibly with an unseen servant to help.
Yes.
I like the idea of an 80s montage of cleaning.
And this is just another veranda.
Yeah.
Man, this house has a lot of verandas.
Yes. And a lot of fireplaces. Like a lot of fireplaces.
So this is
So
another
what's
set
that
of stairs.
ghost doing?
Yep. Stairs go up to the third floor.
The ghost didn't do anything to us on the second floor?
Nope, nothing on the second floor.
I feel like this is the montage for Ghostbusters. When I slide down the pole and say, "This place is great. When can we move in?"
Yeah. But we don't have to negotiate the price because this was gifted to us.
Okay.
Still have to pay taxes to it though, which sucks.
What's in this
Congratulations, you won a contest. Now pay the government money for it.
What's in that closet there in front of Quintus?
That is a privy.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've discovered a bathroom here,
on the third
bathroom
floor.
here, and then you've also discovered down here an actual bathroom and a bathroom up here. But the one to the north, there's a strange smell coming from it, and you can see that the bathtub is filled with like this mucky water that was like left behind, and it's sort of like just became like stagnant water that has grown some mold.
Poop.
Does
Can
the
you see
bathroom in the
through it?
south have a fireplace in it?
It does.
There's a lot of
I know what we-
fireplace.
But you
Keep
notice
the
in the
water-
bathroom to the south, it's got like this nice bathtub that doesn't have any mold. It actually like looks pretty clean, but for some
Zazzle
reason
likes this one.
the water's not running.
Yep. Wait,
Is
Waterdeep has running water?
I mean, it is a major city. I don't see why it wouldn't.
What's
It's
what's
magic,
over
too.
here?
medieval fantasy?
Oh, that's an actual library. So right away you can see like what's above it. Wait, yeah,
I don't know.
So it's a dusty library, like with a whole bunch of different books, and you can see that like a lot of them are like kids' books, like kid fairy tales. Yeah, just like books of fables and stuff.
And then
Weird.
what about this cupola?
Ooh, so that is it's like a ladder leading up to the top part of the turret.
Ooh, I'm climbing to the top part of the turret.
Yeah, so you get to this like probably like 8 foot wide octagon shaped room
Mhm.
at the top.
I call dibs on my room.
Can you drag us over
This is also
so we can see?
at the bottom part of the turret is the bedroom as well. Everyone's gonna cram in the turret. Bah! Bah! Bah!
Just take Quintus so we can all see what's going on over there.
I can just see like Meryl go up and Zazel go up, and then Quintus last kind of like squeezes up through and like jams everybody in there.
Meanwhile, I tell Hazek that we should turn the southern bathroom into a sauna.
Mhm. So here's the top part. I'll bring you guys. So this is kind of like an attic storage. There is an attic bedroom. That's where the fireplace is.
Dibs.
The attic bedroom. And then there's an attic storage area that I guess you could search through there, and we can
Do you want us to make an investigation?
possibly roll. See. Yeah, roll it.
I'm gonna start sneezing because all this dust.
Anybody who got above 10 on their investigation, roll a D100.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
Oh.
No reason.
that's fun.
100 flies.
Why
You
did I
found
not
it.
show up?
It did. You got a
Oh,
58.
okay, I didn't see that the first time.
You find just the hilt from a broken sword, Quintus.
I'll
Can I
hand it.
find the other half, please?
I hand it to Corvo. You might want this.
Corvo, you find half a plan of like
Half of what?
half a floor plan of like some sort of redesign renovation for like the lower part of like the first floor. It's like drawn out, and it starts off like it's like professionally drawn. But it looks like there's like missing stuff, like they were starting to renovate, like figure out how they're going to renovate, and then just kind of like abandon the project.
Me and Quintus trade objects.
That's fair. I'll stuff it inside my shell.
And last, everyone kind of as you kind of moving around stuff in the storage area, you hear this like thunk thunk and this like rolling as this kind of like glass orb kind of
What about
rolls
Meryl?
into the center of the room. Oh, did
Oh,
Meryl
Meryl rolled a 3.
Yeah,
My bad.
I suckety sucked.
I saw the 15 thinking, oh.
So there's
Go
this
ahead.
glass orb that rolls into the center of the room. And there's like this weird smoke inside that, as it comes to a stop, the smoke kind of swirls as if it's continuing to roll.
And I say hello.
No answer. Just silent room. There's this just like dust floating in the air, and this like eerie silence that kind of falls across everybody.
Zazel will take a look at the orb and try and use her arcana on it to see if it has any magical properties.
Has it stand right next to the orb and dispel it.
So if you guys want to roll an arcana on the glass orb, you can.
Corvo would never make such an assumption.
Quintus is not interested in such things.
Oh, Adam, can you switch me from Zazzle to new Zazzle and delete Zazzle?
What?
There's so much zazzling going on. What?
There's I have the new character sheet and the old character sheet.
Now he wants
so new
to
token?
Zazzle.
Like a different token? You mean?
Well, no, I just in the list there's new Zazzle and Zazzle.
Oh, right. I forgot that.
Yeah,
definitely needs more Zaz. That's right, Boffrin.
That's right.
Someone in the chat says needs more Zaz. This is Crystal Zazzle.
Pizzazzle.
So Zazzle Mike should be deleted.
All right, new Zazzle.
That's going to be your. Call you new Zazzle now?
Not as quick as I can edit it.
The character formerly known as Zazzle.
There we go. All right, cool. Boom. I'm just Zazzle.
Not to me, you're not.
Your token is still new Zazzle.
After last night's sleep, you just seem so different.
You're going to have to point the token to a different character sheet now, Adam.
Oh, no.
Or delete it and reconstruct it from scratch.
You've been reconstructed twice now.
New Zazzle.
Yeah.
Adam definitely taking the more vicious approach.
Both Zazzle and Hazek, you can kind of see that someone has cast a what seemed like a fun low level spell on the orb to like make the smoke move, like have smoke inside it and have the smoke move. So as you like shake it and move the orb, the smoke moves with however you move it.
Okay. Is there anything else coming from it, or does it seem like it's just like a bauble?
Just kind of a bauble, yeah.
Okay.
It could be used as an arcane focus if you...
Quintus is going back down to the main floor.
Corvo uses prestidigitation to cast an image over top of the orb, so it has a smiley face.
Back down on the floors, around the outside, and back in the front door.
So as you're kind of walking along here, you hear like things being knocked over to your east. Say east, yeah.
It's Deathclaw.
From the library / study.
I've lost all kind of interaction with the board, I think, because I lost my token.
Oh. Probably I haven't edited it, so control it.
We're going to go in, and there's going to be a lady in a dress, and she's going to shush us.
This is totally Ghostbusters.
Totally.
Library.
All right. Oh, Meryl's just going in. I was gonna peek in,
No,
but
I'm just
Meryl
gonna
just
go in.
marches in.
Who's afraid of no ghosts?
Oh my god, where'd they go?
I am afraid no ghost. All right, I'll follow Meryl in. I will grab Deathclaw and carry Deathclaw in my arms and follow Meryl in.
By the back of its neck.
Yeah, by the scruff of its
Careful
neck.
where you grab a death claw.
What do Meryl and Quintus see?
I'm trying to get Zazel to be controlled by Mike.
Zazel's a lost cause.
Yep.
It's
The old Zazel worked better, but
Yeah.
no.
yeah. I don't know why it's not. Because it says that the character sheet's controlled by me, and you pulled it from the character sheets.
Just make his new token Deathclaw.
So in the library,
What I'm seeing at the bottom of the page, it says Zazzle Mike. That's my old token. So if you got rid of that and maybe did a token based on just the Zazzle character sheet, that would work.
Those are separate things, Mike.
Okay.
yeah, that's what I did. I did the Zazzle token in the kind of like near the attic storage area is drawn from this sheet. So,
Okay.
but in the library, you see a stack of books. No, just kidding. No regular human would stack books this way. You just see a bunch of the books have been left off the shelf. And actually, yeah, let's do this.
This is where you pummel one of them to death with all the books of the library.
I'm going inside my shell.
One flies off the shelf, but like it's not even close to hitting you. It just kind of like smacks the wall beside you.
But we clearly watch it like launch off the shelf towards us.
Yeah. It's just like kind of pinwheels off the shelf, hits the wall, and kind of like lands open on the ground.
I'll pick it up and look at it.
It's a kind of like fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
About a woman trapped in a tower.
I say, look at Quintus and show him the thing, and in my scruffy voice, I'm like, I don't think that this book was chosen by happenstance. And then I show him the story.
Quintus looks it over closely, shrugs, walks back to the bookshelf and puts it back where it came off.
All very slowly, though.
All very slowly, and then starts like shuffling back towards the stairs. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
What's been
And
going
Meryl-
on, Quintus?
Meryl will just
book
kind of
flew
say,
off the shelf at Meryl and I.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of say out loud that I think there's a ghost here.
I thought that was
And,
already established by a wine glass being thrown. Is it a wine glass or just a mug?
Just a glass or something smashed on Zazzle.
But we need to maybe try to help it find peace so that we can
does
turn this
anybody
into
know-
a prosperous business.
So, do you want to hold a seance for it, or
I don't know. You guys are who's the magic-y people here,
well, it's those two down there.
or the clerical-leashed people?
There's one that's probably going to enslave the ghost, and one that's likely to sneeze on it.
I doubt that.
I removed all
Stacey
the
might be able
walls blocking. You guys can move through the walls.
You
I
are
might
free to
recall-
move about the cabin.
I logged back in again, so maybe that'll knock something loose for you.
What class is Hazak again?
He's a wizard,
Gotcha.
an abjurist.
Gotcha.
Shame you weren't a divination wizard. Could have used that.
And Corvo, you're a what again?
I am a bard.
Right. You're our healer.
Yeah.
Adam, Zazel, if no one else is looking at the book, will take the book and try and study it a little more closely.
The book that Quintus put back on the shelf?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So it is a book of fairy tales, just short. So the book itself is probably like 50 pages, and there's like 5 fairy tales, and they're all like 10 pages each, and they're all fairly simple. But immediately you can kind of find the one that Meryl pointed out, or maybe mentioned, is like about a woman trapped in a tower.
She's got really long hair.
Well, can you go through the? Is it Rapunzel? Is that the? Is that
But
the fairy?
she has short hair instead.
Or is it some other trope that? Like what is the fairy tale? Because that might apply in the situation. Like
It's kind of
Correct.
it's like a grim fairy tale of this woman trapped in a tower, and she can't get.
Okay.
She's like the trap door is like locked, so she tries to climb out the window, and she like ends up falling to her death, and kind of like that's not happy at all.
You could have gone so much darker with that, Adam. I applaud you.
So, is there any hero, or is there anything at all in the story that could be relatable to the situation, like something specific?
The very last page shows kind of all the lights out in the house, except for the tower, and the tower shows like a silhouette of the woman still trapped in the tower, even though her dead body is like laying at the base of the tower.
Okay. But there's no discussion of like how to free the ghost from her ghostly
No.
trap or anything.
We have to let the water out of the tub upstairs.
Yeah, it's like some sort of Resident Evil puzzle. You have to find like the certain key and put it in a certain book in the library.
And then play a piano.
Yeah.
And not
Right,
become a Jill sandwich.
What did the basement look like? There was nothing special in the basement.
Oh yeah,
it's just
you
like
haven't revealed that yet.
it's just like a dug cellar. Yeah, with like stale beer and wine.
Can you reveal that part of the map?
Can you not see it?
Oh, we might need to actually go there once, I suppose.
I can't.
Meryl
I can't
and Quintus
go
went
there.
there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm.
It's
I can't
advanced
see
fog of
anyone's.
war, I think.
There we go.
Right, I can't see anyone's tokens or my own, by the way. Just so.
What?
Oh, Zazzle, you're being so difficult.
I know I am a pain in the ass today.
Hey,
Right.
Meryl.
So what does Hazek think we should do?
About a ghost?
Mm-hmm.
Ask it to leave.
How about now, Zazzle? Does that token?
Nope.
There's nothing down there, Zazzle. Don't worry.
What's going on here?
Well, I
When you
feel
click
like
on the token, Adam, and go to the cog.
Yep.
And make sure that's pointed toward his actual character sheet.
Represents character Zazzle's Mike, and then
Should be the other one.
Well, yeah, I've actually renamed the new character Zazzle Mike in hopes of getting it matched, but could you just try clearing it and repointing it if you could do that.
Yeah, make sure there isn't two. Like there's some kind of phantom Zazzle going around. It haunts the house. You figured out the puzzle.
Okay. What I have done is the token does not represent. It's like non-generic token controlled by you.
Okay.
Wait.
Does it have sight and everything?
can't.
No, but it,
Does not have sight. That's why.
Okay. Ah,
It's sight.
I'm blind. I can see.
Yay!
Yay.
All these things that I forget, like when you create a new character, like on the fly.
Sorry. All right.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
you have to
Thank you.
see. That would
Yes,
help
that was the
seeing
problem.
things.
All that, and you just left the basement instantly?
No, I was so happy I could move again. Yeah. So no, she just wanted to look around down there. It's the only place that she hadn't looked yet. But
Okay. As we're quickly losing people from watching, as we're getting the token working, then you're like, forget the basement. It's a silly place. We're out of here. All right, I'm going back to the main the bar. The bar.
As you go down to the main bar, Quintus, another glass kind of gets flung off the shelves and kind of smashes against your shell.
Hey, that wasn't nice.
Well,
I
don't look
live
at
here
me. I
now
didn't do it.
too. What time of day is it?
I'm going to say that you guys kind of, after your kind of like sewer adventure, you probably had like a night's rest, and then were brought here in the morning-ish. So we'll say it's like mid-morning, kind of like a mid-morning sun is kind of coming through the dusty, dirty windows.
Does anybody know of a priest or cleric that's willing to assist us in this situation? Or cultists?
Orvo, you live here. Point us in the
I
direction
don't.
of the nearest church.
why don't we try a seance and talk to the ghost, see what she wants?
I don't know how to conduct one of those.
Yeah, Quintus shrugs.
Any of the locals know that there's like churches of any denomination in Waterdeep that you can think
So
of.
which denomination do we want?
Well, do we want to kill it or do we want to talk to it?
Necromancy.
So death cleric.
Yeah, it's like a church. The Church of Lathander would probably come on and get rid of it.
Church of Helm, I'm on it.
You do. Speaking of necromancy, you do know that there is a very large graveyard, monastery, whatever it's called, crypts, called the City of the Dead, to the east of the city. It's like in the city, but it's like on the central east side.
Gotta put your dead people somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah. Now, do you want to take a tour of Troll Skull Alley?
Sure. Let's go meet our neighbors.
So actually, we'll have a. So this, as you guys are kind of coming back down the tap room, there is someone who kind of comes to the door, carrying a like potted plant, and they kind of like knock on the kind of like the door frame because the door is a bit like rickety. Kind of knock on the frame instead. I wonder if they actually have a token for this person.
Quintus is mistaking windows for doors.
I'm
again.
looking out the window to see. Just look at them if I can. I'll open the window,
See who
peer
it
my
is.
head around.
There's no picture, but there's at the front door. There we go. Front door.
Fa-la-la.
But that's funny.
Zazzle will let her in, and you guys notice something odd about Zazzle. Her horns are gone. She looks like a perfectly normal human girl or woman, but she doesn't have her horns anymore. As she walks over, they just kind of disappear. She opens
The
up
person kind of through like, we'll say that there's like kind of dirty little windows on the door, and this person kind of waves and holds up the potted plant and kind of smiles.
Yeah, well, Sizzle will open the door and welcome him in. Oh, hello.
It's a flower bomb.
Are you one of our new neighbors?
So the person that steps forward is a wood elf with long braided hair, and it's difficult to tell whether they're male or female. But they introduce themselves as Fala and offers you the potted plant. They say, "Oh, you must be the new person living here. I'd heard that Volo had purchased it, but then he never showed up. But it's good to see people coming and going." And they hold up the potted plant as like an offer. "Welcome to the neighborhood."
Welcome. Please come join us. Sit down for a moment.
Oh, thank you. I run the Corellian Crown just across the streets. I deal in mainly potions, but I'm an herbalist. Who does she mention? Yeah, she's member of the Guild of Apothecaries. They go on. The reason I call it the Corellon's Crown is I actually worship the elven god Corellon. Have you heard of Corellon Larathian?
I don't know. I'll have to roll and see.
Hold on a sec. Let me think.
Is that common knowledge or?
Bits about it is common knowledge. Like, you know that the kind of elven god Corellon Larathian is often referred to in tales as not being a he or a she, but more a they.
Corellon was ahead of his time, or they were ahead of their time.
And this was introduced in the 80s.
Pretty wild stuff. Yeah. Zazzle will say, yes, we've recently come into possession of this establishment, and we're looking to get it fixed up. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about its history. We don't know a lot. Have you been here long? Have you seen the prior owners?
Fella thinks a little bit. Not for a long time. I had been here for a while. I believe it was a tavern before, but the previous owners kind of picked up and left. I didn't visit it back then. I was sort of on a religious mission at the time, and I wasn't associating with these kind of establishments. But I just remember like the lights going out and them moving out in the middle of the night. And of course, there's rumors that fly around. There's always the rumor that this place is, and then she kind of like trails off. It's like, in disrepair. She says it's just in disrepair. It's some good, bit of love could go a long way, I think.
Had you ever heard that it was haunted?
Oh, I had heard that. Yes, I was going to say that. I didn't know if you guys knew. Imposed.
We've seen some indications that people might have felt that way. But I'm curious. Do you know anything about the tale? Surely you've heard some good rumors about who's haunting and why they're haunting, and we love a good ghost story, don't you?
She's like, and then just as she goes to speak, another mug flies off the shelf and smashes against this wall, like narrowly missing her face. And she like jumps and shrieks. She's like, ah! And the potted plant falls out of her hands and smashes on the ground. She's like, I'll get you a new one. I'll get you a new
No,
one.
no, don't worry a bit. That's just my my unseen servant is a little out of practice. Nothing to worry about.
Oh,
And Zazzle will bark to the air. Be more careful. That's just not respectful. Hoping not to piss the ghost off.
well, she kind of like looks around at everybody, a bit more nervous now. I keep saying she. They keep looking. They look around. Fella's a bit more nervous. I better get going. I better get back to my shop.
Oh, nonsense! Please tell us the story. Would you prefer to tell us out on the porch? Come, let's walk out onto the street, and you can tell us more.
Sure, let's go onto the street. Actually, I should copy Zazzle as well. We don't have this trouble. Well, you're so big! Zazzle 2.0.
Oh, there we are. We're at the corner.
Huge.
We're at the crossroads.
Cool.
Look how big Deathclaw is.
It's accurate.
He's huge.
Deathclaw! Rah, must find box to lay in.
And keyboards to sit on.
Yes, so tell us. We'd love to hear the story about the supposed ghost. What have you heard?
So immediately she points down here. She's like, "Oh, that's my shop over there." And she points. There's a nice like big sign with like vines and flowers around it. It says Corlon's Crown. She's like, "Oh, well, it was." They say, "I was gonna say." I had heard that Trollskull Manor originally was built as a house for like foster children, I believe, children without parents, without a home,
Orphans.
And I'd heard that there was a woman who brought in all these different children and looked after them.
Interesting. Is this woman the ghost that they talk about?
I don't know.
Well, surely you must have heard something.
Just that there was a woman who looked after kids. This is a long, long time ago. Before my time in this area.
After the recent owners had taken over. Well, let me ask you. You know this alley pretty well. Who do you think would maybe know a little bit more about the history of our new place?
Have you been to the Bookworm's Treasure?
We have not.
Rashal, he's a very kind man. He's a gold dragonborn who very bookish, who runs the kind of bookstore and a bit of the arcane scrolls and stuff like that. He has. He mainly just reads books, and she kind of points out over here. He may have read some stuff that I don't know about Trollskull Manor.
All right, so the kind of the local. Well, who would you say is the busiest gossip on the street? You know, every street has one, and Zazzle kind of like.
Oh, that might be that might be the owners of Steam and Steel. They're Avi and Embrick. they're two genasi. One's a water genasi and one's a fire genasi. And those two men are they're quite something. They're quite funny. Chatting with them, but I'd say Avi is probably the person who might know the gossip area.
Of Steam and Steel, did you say?
Steam and Steel, yeah.
That's funny. One of the players over on Forbidden Lands, he runs a podcast. It's called Of Steam, Steel, and Murder, which is a great name.
Well, thank you very much. We'd love to come visit your shop soon and take a look at your wares.
Excellent. And if you get the bar up and running and you start making drinks, trade recipes, some potion recipes or some ale recipes could be fun.
I think that sounds like a plan. We would love it. In fact, would you, perchance, be able to make something that would be good at cleaning the old taps?
Oh, I think I could. Normally I do healing potions and other things like that, but I'm sure I could brew something that could clear those pipes out.
Fantastic. Well,
Tell you what, I kind of ruined my housewarming gift. My new housewarming gift is gonna be that, and we're gonna test it out. This is gonna be fun.
Fantastic. Oh, one other question. Anybody we should be careful about, or anybody on the street that maybe we shouldn't should avoid? Anybody that maybe isn't very friendly?
They look at you and they say, "Well, one person to not really avoid, but they kind of keep themselves and a bit off, is Vincent Trench. He runs Tiger's Eye, which is kind of a private eye business. He's always off investigating stuff and on cases. He's always running around town. He always keeps to himself. He's a very, very strange fellow. So, and I don't want to warn you away from him. Just understand what kind of guy he is. He's a bit aloof, say. And the other person is possibly where's his name? Emic Froon. Emic Froon has been renovating his place to become a tavern, but he hasn't been the most successful. But he had heard that when Volo purchased Troll Skull Manor, he got very upset because he thought that Volo might turn it into a tavern. He knows how Volo likes to drink, and he was afraid that he was going to turn it into a tavern, which would be his direct competition. Now, his isn't open yet either, but if you were to try to turn Troll Skull Manor into it, he might get upset and be a little bit more adversarial towards you. Mm-hmm. So be wary of that.
Maybe we don't lead with that then.
Yes. Although he has made his assumption.
Oh, so everyone pretty much knows that we're here already? Or at least at Volo. Wait, I'm going to mess up his name again. Volo is... that's stuck in my brain, man. That Volo is... they know that he's bought it at least, so people are thinking maybe. All right. Well, thank you. It was most helpful, and we'll look forward to sharing a beer with you as soon as those taps are flowing.
Sounds great. You have a good day. She kind of treks back to her shop.
Bye.
Corvo, before she leaves, hands over the mended flower pot.
Oh, wow. She doesn't know what to do because she's or they, I should say, they don't know what to do because they had given it as a housewarming gift, but then now they've promised to try and clean the pipes for you. So they're like, oh, I guess I'll just take this back to my shop. Thank you.
Zaz will say, well, if they were nice.
So, and just for a little fun here,
Oh, my goodness.
just as like Fala goes back to their shop,
Whoa.
you
Ruffians.
you hear coming down this street
Shake
these
down.
guys that they're like posturing, and they're kind of like, looking tough, and they're looking right at you coming down the street, and you can totally tell that they're Zentarum, and they're led by a guy with a shaved head, and like a snake tattoo on his neck, and he's like, "Hey, you guys take out that Xanathar guild there?
Yes.
Who?
Jagger's been
I'm
talking
not
about you. She says that you guys are pretty tough. You've been fighting the Xanathar. We're from the Zentarum. If you ever want to do some jobs for us, meet us at the Yawning Portal tonight. Ask for Davil, Star Song."
Okay.
Says the city guard.
Yeah.
Arrest all of you.
Rule
And
number
there's
one.
like an
don't
awkward.
rowdy the
They're like
ruffians.
coming in all tough, and they're like, "Yeah, talk to Davil, Star Song," and then you're like, "Okay." And there's like awkward silence that kind of between you guys. Like, "Okay then, be there
It's like
after 7." And they
It's like-
kind of like,
it's like that scene from The Big Lebowski where they're in the parking lot and the nihilists are there with the fire and the
yeah.
ghetto blaster, and they're all just looking at them like, what? Like
Either that or,
unimpressed.
like-
That's us. We're just like super unimpressed with these guys.
Anchorman with the different news gangs. But yeah,
One of them pulls out a giant boom box.
Lights a fire in the street. They have a sword.
there's
Talking
only one
about
way to
how their
settle this.
Girlfriend
With a
cut off his
dead
toe
dog.
for this. We're just like, yeah, we got to a haunted house. All right. These men are cowards.
How long is
Yeah.
it till 7?
They said sometime after 7. Ask for Devil Star Song.
And it's early right now, right?
Yeah, it's like like kind of coming towards late morning ish.
Well, Zazzle says, let's why don't we start with the book guy, the gold dragon. What was his name?
Rashal.
Rashaw.
He's over here.
YOLO.
Yeah.
It's invisible to us. It's all black.
Yeah, right.
It's all black.
If we move.
Yeah, so tokens aren't there. So you zoomed us over and we don't have our tokens, so we just don't see anything.
Damn.
Yeah, look at the stream for reference of what we can see.
Yeah, everyone's
Good
just seeing
reference.
blackness. There we go. Yay, we can see the street now. And the people inside the houses. Go see Vincent Price at the Tiger's Eye.
Hezek hasn't sneezed yet today, has he?
Only on the inside.
Well, when I was searching the attic,
How do I show? Can I show this whole map to you guys?
We can see it now.
just did.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah. So, the sign says Bookworm's Treasure on it, and it shows like a golden dragon kind of curled up on like a hoard of books instead of gold on the sign.
If we look through the window, do we see anybody inside? Are there customers?
If you look through the window, you just see like stacks and stacks of books. They're kind of like, if you've ever been to like a kind of like hole in the wall bookstore that clearly is not big enough for the amount of books they have. That's the idea. Like there's a ton of books in there, and there's not enough shelves for all the books. So there's like these awkward stacks of books beside the bookshelves that are like precariously tilted, because there's more and more books being stacked on top of them.
So Barnes and Noble on shelving day.
I try to use my mind to move the books.
Did it work?
No. Disappointing.
Yes.
Is there a bell, or can you just walk right in?
You can walk right in. As you walk through, bit of a jingle, and you can see a gold dragonborn kind of sitting there. He's got like spectacles on, like reading glasses, and he's like got his snout buried in a book, and he doesn't even like seem to hear the bell. He's like so like absorbed into his reading.
So let's go in one at a time so the bell rings full force.
Okay.
Rings 5
Ding!
times.
We'll go in like Gandalf's dwarves, one at a time. All right. Hey, one thing Zazzle was doing different is she's using that what the hell's that first level spell? The one to change her appearance.
Hiding her horns.
Yeah, she's hiding her horns, and her eyes are normal now, so she just looks like a normal human. But anyone who's be really good at spotting illusions might be able to. But it's subtle. It's not anything dramatic.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Eventually, like as like the fourth person, as like Hazak comes through, Rishal kind of like goes, oh, there's so many customers. I didn't see you. And he goes to get up, and he like gets up, bangs his head on a lamp, and like hits his thigh on a desk, which like top books over. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was so absorbed in my book. Welcome to my shop. Looking for a book, perhaps a spell?
We're your new neighbors.
Oh, did you move into one of the vacant tenement houses?
Yes.
Troll Skull Manor.
Oh. He kind of goes to say something more, but then doesn't. Like,
Do you have any books on exorcising ghosts?
this nervous laugh is like, let me see. Yep, you're definitely from Troll Skull Manor. And he kind of like moves over to one shelf and starts sorting through some stuff.
Our ghosts are very out of shape, so we need to exercise them.
There seems to be a ghost in our house.
He's like, the closest I got is this, and he holds up this like children's book on like it's almost like, it's like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but it's like the D&D version of it. Where it's
I just popped in and out.
Ah.
I stopped hearing for some reason.
it's like Jasper the Friendly Spectre.
Do you know who...
This is the closest I have. I don't really deal in those sorts of books, but I do have a big children's section. The children's section, some of them have fables that deal with mature subject matters on a child's level. This might be one of them.
Do you know who
Trying
used
to
live in
insult
our
us?
house?
Or...
And he's like, oh, no, I don't mean to insult you.
Corvo's laughing a little bit.
And he's like, a person would write a book about spirits and specters. I think it would sell well.
What do you know about
if
the house?
Serious.
I didn't catch either of those because you
I said, well, if you're serious, I'll look at the book and Quintus can ask his question.
So when you can easily like flip the book and like it's one of those like children's books with like only one sentence page with a nice picture. But the gist of it is basically not all ghosts are bad. You might befriend a ghost and it might treat you well.
I hand it to Hazek for more trained eye. Get it because it's a children's book.
Oh, you're funny.
Oh snap! Shots fired.
Go ahead, Quintus.
Rochelle quickly speaks up. Oh, if you're from the neighborhood, you know what? I have a policy. Anybody from the neighborhood can actually borrow books if they'd like. They just have to sign them out. If you ever need to borrow a book, obviously that's restricted to actual, my novels and stuff. But as for like spells and stuff, you'll have to purchase those.
Gotcha.
Seems fair.
You have a spell that can cleanse a haunted place?
Well, let me see. I've
Hallowed
got
Ground is a famous one. But none of us could dream of casting that.
no hallowed ground. Clairvoyance, counterspell, dispel magic, fabricate, modify memory. He's like flipping through all these things. I'm not sure if I have anything that can actually deal with a spirit or specter or poltergeist.
Do you have any thoughts on how we could maybe communicate with it?
Oh, I read all these books, and in the books they always say there's like maybe like a grain of truth to some books, but they always have strange ways of dealing with books and fiction books. Sometimes there's like possessions, and they have to speak through another person, and some other times you have to find a way to communicate, but not verbally or like normal, possibly through objects. And, connecting objects to the person.
I have a question, Adam.
Sure.
So is this kind of like The Witcher, where these things are real, like hauntings and ghosts are real, but the majority of people will never encounter them, so they think they are fables? Is that where we're coming from with ghosts in this city? Or people are kind of like, don't know about that.
Well, people know that there's real things out there. Some of them maybe are in denial that there's a spirit or specter in the city that wouldn't have been dealt with. Other people just kind of mind their own business. But I think that a lot of people do kind of know somewhere out there are these monsters and spirits and specters.
So I take it there are no Ghostbusters in the city.
I think that's a niche market that needs to be filled.
Zazzle's gonna kind of sigh and stomp her foot and say, "Look, we don't know that this ghost is bad. We should talk to her, and we should see if she needs help. She was there before us, right?"
How do we know it's a her?
Well, the woman in the book was a her.
And who throws a book and a glass at people? Come on.
Yeah. Well, Zazzle will agree, and then she'll pause and say, "Well, wait. Well, I think we should try and communicate with her and help her. Maybe she'll stay on and help be an attraction for the inn.
She could be a bartender.
Yeah, or maybe at least I've heard tales of mermaids and other sorts of ghosts and that become part of the scenery at these places. So Why
I'm
not ours
borrowing
too?
the book. I sign off on his paper.
Sure.
Continue.
Zez will ask the um, Dragon Man here. What's his name? Hang on.
Rashal.
Yeah, he'll ask Rashaw. Do you know anybody who would know the history of our inn, or maybe you have an account of the owners or the why the place was thought to become haunted?
I had heard that there was an incident that caused a massive bar fight disruption. And after that day, people fled and just kind of left it. I don't know the details, but there were many, many frightened customers. I remember that.
Do you remember anybody that would have been there when it happened that's still around?
I wasn't here. These are stories that from quite a while ago.
Anybody still on the street today that would have been around then? Do you think?
Fala would have been there.
Fala didn't. We met Fala. They were really nice, but didn't have a lot to tell us. Huh. Maybe Fala knows more than they wanted to say.
Well, maybe not, because Fala marches to the beat of their own drum. So perhaps they didn't know then.
Do you happen to know when this would have happened? How long ago?
I'd say maybe 10 years ago.
You don't happen to remember or have heard of who the prior owners were, huh?
No, just I believe it was a husband and wife running the tavern and inn. They had turned some of the. It was more like a bed and breakfast, like an intimate thing, rather than just like room keys to go. They actually assigned kind of bedrooms with, nice layouts, and it was like an intimate experience where you're kind of living with them at a discounted rate.
Now, Adam, I know we've all seen the deed that we got. There wasn't any history of like in a typical deed you could see prior owners, or like on a
Not
title.
on that deed. That deed just was transferring from Volo to you guys.
Okay, so there would be like a
history.
recorder. Is there a recorder of deeds type thing in Waterdeep where we could go and look at the actual deed?
Possibly. Might have to do some research.
Okay, well, Zezel smiles sweetly to the dragon kind and kind of look at the rest of the party as if to say anything else.
I think it's just Hazek right there.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Nope. Nothing else for the gold dragonborn man.
Yeah, I was wondering about the actual deed we had in possession too.
She will sweetly smile and say, "Well, you are welcome when we finally get the place up and running to come and have a beer on the house."
Oh, will you have wine?
Well, of course we'll have wine, silly. What type do you like?
Do you want some vinegar?
We got lots of that.
How do you feel about
Vinegar.
pickles?
I love a good rosé.
With good molding. I mean what?
He says, give me a rosé and a fireplace, a good book to read, and I'll be entertained tonight.
Well, consider it done. As soon as we have our new friendly ghost figured out. She winks.
So
Consider it done when it's done.
He stands up all proud to his 8 feet. Oh, it's so nice to have good neighbors. Waves with his big dragonborn hand.
Talon.
Yeah.
We're all waiting outside for you.
Oh, sorry.
The street toughs better not come back that we were unimpressed with.
This time we'll catch Corvo reading a children's book.
Yeah, you see Corvo walk out holding his children.
All right, where's the where was the house with the is that the tiger's eye?
I'm gonna stop in at the Tiger's Eye if we're going down the street. The private investigator who we're told to not kind of avoid. I don't know. I'm gonna walk in.
Great, you walk in and you see a woman. Yeah, we'll say an elven woman, kind of behind the desk, but quite short for an elf. And she looks up. What do you want?
We just moved into Troll Skull Manor and are meeting our neighbors.
Oh, Troll Skull Manor. She kind of makes a face. Oh, well, to each their own, I guess.
We're thinking of renaming it.
We didn't buy it; it was given to us.
Well, renaming it would be weird because it's on Troll Alley. They have something to the alley, right? Was it named after something?
Troll Skull Mug.
He holds out his clawed, webbed hand. My name is Quintus.
Hi, my name is. What's her name?
On the token, zoom in.
That's actually her.
This is his secretary.
Yeah.
Zazzle.
Vincent Trench is not there.
My name is Zazzle too.
What?
My name is New Zazzle.
hey, copyright, trademark.
My name is Zazzle Mike.
Greta. She says her name is Greta.
Hello, Greta.
That's better.
Do you?
So, don't see very many torches.
It's because they take so long to get anywhere.
He looks around and shrugs and realizes she's talking about him.
There's genies and gold dragons on the street. This place is like the UN.
Yeah, now there's a turtle on the block. They've checked off every
right?
box. Finally, been waiting for a turtle to move in.
Yeah, woo.
Once the turtle's property value starts going up, they're
And a vampire? Oh, they probably have a vampire. They just don't.
We have a ghost, we have a vampire.
Meryl's a werewolf.
There was a forum talking about Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and someone was talking about the forced diversity of. Shut up.
Well, we the first person we met, their pronoun is they. I mean,
yeah, it's true. I give credit to that in Waterdeep. They do have some good characters for that kind of stuff.
Quote unquote forced diversity.
Well, we've definitely hit our quota of turtles, so.
No, we haven't. There's 3 more that need to happen.
No more turtles.
We need more turtles, damn it.
Definitely not a were-rat either.
Has to be a were-rat. Name Splinter.
Yeah. You know what's something? You guys missed the were-rat. They're actually were-rat.
Or wood fragment.
Well, how do we miss a were-rat?
There was a passage you guys could have gone down in one of the sewers that led to a basement of a were-rat.
Nice. One of us can be nursing lycanthropy right now.
Now I'm disappointed.
Yep.
So Greta says, well, if you need any investigations done, this is the place.
Well, we do have a ghost in our manor. Could you help with that?
Well, Vincent doesn't normally deal with the supernatural. He has a lot on his plate, just dealing with thefts and cheating spouses a lot, actually.
Oh, he's one
And,
of those investigators.
But he would. I think he would love a challenge. I think he would love something strange. So I could take a note and send him your way if you.
Tell him to stop by the house.
All right. He's off on gallivanting on his whatever
Scooter.
case he's on working on. He might not be back for a couple days, but I'll send him your way.
Okay, thank you, Greta.
Thank you.
I was hoping you were going to say he's gallivanting on his moped through the streets of Waterdeep.
Definitely moped.
Gallivanting on his mastiff.
Oh, wow.
Who?
Hezek, are you or did you find a book?
Oh yeah, I'm reading books.
Meryl's
You
going
know-
back to the bookshop.
He's just happy that these books aren't dusty. They actually read.
Yeah, right.
What time of day is it now after going and meeting a couple of our neighbors?
Oh, we'll say lunch.
I'm just going down the map looking at the different buildings here. Why don't they just zoom out instead of doing this? Boop.
You want to go to the Steam and Steel?
Yeah. We have to go past the Carillion's Crown to get there.
That's the potion shop. We already talked to that guy.
We talked to them.
Damn,
They
that's
talked
right.
today.
But she did, it was revealed that they lived here at the time of the former residents. Are we sure we don't want to go talk to them again?
We could try.
You don't have to.
I'm wondering
Well,
if
you give it a
there's Are there any restaurants on this in this area, or
The
is
Benton
Troll
House
Skull Manor like the place, or was the place?
looks like the Benton House.
Nothing like big like tavern to sit down and eat at. But there are like, we'll say that there's like food vendors, kind of selling
Food trucks.
Hot dog vendor,
Food
right
cart.
there, right next
High
across the street from the
fantasy
taco
food
guy.
poisoning.
skewered and grilled iguana.
Botulism.
On a stick.
Falak is like, oh, back so soon? They're like outside, kind of pruning their flowers out in front. Back so soon? Did you go see Rashal?
Yes.
We did.
And they mentioned that you lived here when the former residents lived in Troll Skull Manor. A husband and wife.
Yeah, yes. I thought I mentioned that. I wasn't really a pub going then. I kind of kept to myself. I was on a spiritual journey, discovering myself. It was a wild time. I liked it. Looking back, I'm glad I did it. I really learned a lot about.
So they own an herb shop and they discovered themselves.
Right. What?
We know what kind of herbs they're selling here.
What can you tell us about the former owners?
Looks like you've been visiting some shop.
Fala Lafleur. What can you tell
They
us?
they seem to remember a husband and wife running the place.
What were their
but
names? How old were they?
I don't know. I don't.
Changed every year, man.
I'm not sure if I don't know if I never met them or I can't remember. It was a different time of my life.
Okay.
I
Quintus
didn't
is
feel
giving
it
up
getting
on this
off the couch.
this person and walking away.
My single
Slowly.
self doesn't remember them.
Come on, Meryl, let's go.
Where are we going?
We're going to Steam and Steel.
Okay.
What about the bent nail?
We'll get there yet. Patience.
Right. So the sign, in sort of like a blue, it says steam, and then underneath and steel, and the steel is kind of like looks like heated up metal on the sign. As soon as you kind of open the door, you can tell why it's called steam and steel. Like, this heat kind of like hits you in the face, but it's a moist heat, and you see this like big kind of fiery guy kind of working this steel, kind of like ting ting ting, and then putting it in the water. And you see a kind of less burly water genasi standing next to the fire genasi, kind of looking over his shoulder, kind of admiring his work. And then they turn around like, "Oh, hi! Oh, I'm Abby. Welcome to Steam and Steel."
A fire and water genasi. There really is like every bizarro race represented.
Yeah, we're looking to get horseshoes for my pet turtle here.
Hello.
He comes over and he's like, "Oh yeah, we don't just do weapons. We totally do shoeing, but I didn't know that turtles wear metal shoes."
I don't wear shoes.
Well. Anyways, feel free to look around. We have weapons, all different types. I mainly bring the steam. My husband works.
We're the new people who moved into Troll Skull Manor. Nice to meet you.
Oh my! They're like, immediately they like light up. Like, what can you tell me? I've never been inside.
What literally lights up?
It's haunted.
It is?
And
I'd heard, but I didn't know it was true. Did you hear that, Ember? It's actually haunted.
You're welcome to come over and visit us anytime and see for yourself.
Do you have any
And the
use
big,
for
like,
vinegar?
burly fire genasi kind of walks over and he's like, "Is it now? Well, what's it haunted with?"
A ghost.
So we were kind of having bets on what it was, whether it was real or not. It's the thing that my husband.
It threw a glass at my shell and a glass at that one's face.
And a book at that one's face.
And a book at that one's face.
Did anybody get injured? Are you guys okay?
Yes. Now there's another ghost.
Another ghost?
Well, Corvo's not correcting that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, you'll have to let us know if you ever find out what exactly it is. You'll have to let us know because we have some money. It's a thing we do. Abby's like, "Stop it! But don't tell them about our personal little games we play."
Well, if it wasn't for the ghost, we might actually be here for some kind of renovations for the place, maybe sometime in the future.
Abby's eyes light up and like, "Oh my! If you ever need a designer, I'll be there." Have you seen the bent nail? It's just behind us. I can lead you out the back door, but
Yes.
The bent nail. They make the woodworking. They make furniture. Never mind the sign. The sign is literally just a bent nail on it. But they actually do some good woodworking. You might be interested in making some stools or bar tables. They kind of like gesture out the back door.
Okay. Do you
Also, like I said, we don't just do weapons. We also candelabras, anything metalworking. I'm sure my husband can do it.
Do you know anybody who can help us get rid of a ghost?
No. They kind of like look at each other and they almost like share like a funny inside joke. And Emberk's like, "That's not what we deal in here, but if you need a sword."
A ghost killing sword?
No, just a regular sword. I think for those magical swords, you might have to go to a different. Maybe we could branch out: steam, steel, and magic. And Abby again's like, "Stop it."
Do you make any containment devices? Ones that you can step on and it opens up and
Like maybe a trap
Don't
that
look at
might
the light.
contain a ghost.
Maybe
flex
some kind of
capacitor.
nuclear device that shoots out a continuous beam.
I
That's
looked
right.
at the light barrel.
They say, well, we mainly deal in metal weapons and shields here. But we always like new ways of working the metal. So let us know if there's anything you need for the bar. Oh, I totally hope you open the tavern again.
We
Thank
totally
you.
hope so too.
Ember's
Hey,
like,
so,
we need a good place to drink around.
Zazzle will spout and say, what's it like on the street here?
To them, to Emberick and Abby?
Rafala, where your token is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Still sitting there staring into Fala's
Kind
eyes.
of I'm in theater of the mind mode here. I'm sorry.
You can see Avi goes to like, oh, you wouldn't believe, and then Emberick's like, no. Some stories are not for the new people here.
Oh, come on. She's like, she'll, as the others are filtering out, she'll be like, it's just us girls here.
And a Meryl.
Oh, and Meryl. You there too? Can't see you.
I'm hiding
there
behind
you
my
are.
scarf.
Oh no, behind the scarf.
I'm zooming in now. I get a better look. There you are. Okay.
Avi is like, well, I had heard that Vincent, who runs the Tiger's Eye, is not actually working a case most of the time. I heard that one of the women that he investigated her husband, and he was apparently going to prostitutes. But Vincent has now struck up a relationship with this woman, even though she's still technically married. That's what I heard. And Emberick's like, shh, you shouldn't be saying these things. What would Vince say? I hang out with Vince. I don't want him to.
Zazel's going to say, are you talking about Greta?
Oh no, not Greta. Greta's just.
Oh, okay.
No offense to Alf. She's just a little. I've never met an elf quite like her.
Interesting. How's the street otherwise? Is it pretty quiet? Are there is there any crime going on here that we should be concerned about?
No, we're pretty good on that front. There is some awkwardness with. There's a gentleman who's trying to build his own tavern, kind of off to say.
You mean Emmerich Foon?
Yes. It's kind of across the street from Tiger's Eye. Actually, more like kitty corner to Tiger's Eye, closer maybe to the bookstore. But he's been working on that for a long time, trying to I think he wants some sort of gimmick to make his tavern stand out. And then Emberick kind of cuts in and was like, I think if you just had beer, you'd do fine. You don't need to
Why is he having such a hard time getting started, do you think?
Abby's like, I think he's just overthinking things. I think, yeah, maybe. So I'd heard rumors that he was in debt to some lenders. But it's not my place to say. Emberick's like, damn right, you should stop talking. But they're new to the neighborhood. I don't think they should be thinking these things. What if they meet Emberick and they won't be able to be natural around him because they're going to think about the lenders.
Oh, don't worry, I'm natural around everybody. And she gives a big wink.
Yep,
Says,
all natural.
Hey now, yep, no.
Minus horns and eyeballs.
Well, judge much. So, are you there?
No, that was me to you, Mike.
Oh, okay, all right. I was gonna say she'll her Tail will start to swish at that. Invisible tail.
Corvo will say, but that's not her natural hair color.
Yeah. So
Scandalous.
she'll look over and she'll say, "So, any of those silly Sathanders or Zents in this area mucking about?"
No, we've been pretty. We're kind of tucked away. So we've been hearing stories about things that are happening on the streets, the gang war. Luckily, Troll Skull Alley is kind of its own little kind of cul-de-sac in a way. It's tucked away. So we're pretty good. We're feeling pretty. And she's like, I don't want to knock on wood, but there's not much wood around here. But we're feeling pretty safe.
Well, good.
She goes and like knocks on her, or he goes and kind of knocks on his head, jokingly as a knock on wood.
Corvo writes that down in his little bestiary. Fire ganassi. Made of wood? Question mark.
Aren't you at the bent nail with me?
Good to know. That's where the fire comes from. Burning
Yeah,
wood.
I'm over here.
Corvo and I are waiting at the bent nail.
All right,
Yeah,
the bent nail.
Zazzle will head over. That she'll thank them for their and invite them to come have free beer when the place is open
And vinegar. Lots and lots of vinegar.
and a pickle.
We'll make pickles
Yeah.
and relish.
And pickled eggs.
Pickled cucumber.
So you see the bent nail, and there's literally just a kind of like it's like a fancy piece of wood with like nice trim. It's like been like dadoed and like nicely carved. But then in the center of it is just like this big nail that's been like hammered and then bent over, and that's the sign.
I don't get it. You get it, Quintus? I don't get it. Did they miss?
Some sort of
Is
street
the
code.
place?
I don't understand this place.
It's got like a really fancy door that's been like nicely trimmed out.
Ornate.
Very ornate, yes.
Okay.
And if you go inside, you just immediately smell different kinds of wood. Like there's like definitely wood dust in the air, and there's like wood shavings on the ground. You see a guy. He's like he's at a lathe, a wood lathe, and he's like making what seems to be a just like a wood table leg that he's like, and you can see two are already made, set aside. There's even like a tabletop near those legs. He's like, "Oh, I'll be there in a minute," and he's kind of he's a male half elf, but he's a bit like disheveled. He's got like wood glue kind of on his like he's got like an apron that has like wood glue smeared on it. He's not that well kept. He seems like he's a very busy guy.
Probably not that fond of giving hugs either. He tends to stick to people.
True. He like finishes up what he's doing, stops the lathe, and kind of walks over, and you can see these like kind of like rough looking hands, and you're used to like elves being kind of maybe like soft, dainty, but this half elf, he's like got rough hands, and kind of reaches out his hand. He's like, "I'm Tally. What can I do for you?"
Corvo. Live here.
A new neighborhood?
Troll Skull Manor.
Oh. Hey.
Yes,
You
it's
give me my
haunted.
business card. You fit
Oh, yeah.
fix the place up?
Oh yeah, there is a lot of creakiness on the second level, isn't there, Quintus?
Mm-hmm.
I'm certified carpenter, so if you deal through me, it's been approved by the Carpenters Guild.
Why don't you stop by and give us an assessment?
Oh yeah, have you spoken to like 'cause you're gonna have the Roofers Guild, Carpenters Guild, Plumbing Guild? He says like list guilds off.
There's a
like,
guild for everything.
building a house. He's like, did you know there's even a dung sweeping guild that maintains the streets. Not that you'll need that for your tavern, unless you do.
So one of their representative ones, and I'm whispering to Quintus. He had a shit-eating grin the entire time.
I get it, shit-eating grin, dung sweepers. You say, well, if you need anything, I'm your guy.
Yeah, if you could also give us some directions, or if there's some kind of way we can contact the other members that we would need.
Of guilds?
Maybe some recommendations of individuals would probably be preferred.
I'll go through my contacts. I don't have it right now. It's not on memory, but I can go through my contacts. I just know that I pay my guild fees. I'm part of the guild. I'm certified guild carpenter. He hands you this. It's like a business card, but it's almost from a wood shaving that he's used some sort of lathe on, and he has taken that kind of wood shavings and written fancy lettering that says the bent nail, Talisovanar Fell Branch, certified carpenters guild. And he hands it to you.
Thank you.
So do you think you could come inspect our house or our place?
I could. I only charge 5 gold to do a full inspection. But I am certified to do that. I can inspect.
And could you also fix the place up as we need it?
I can. I don't know. I'd have to look at I'd have to do an estimate. Estimates are free.
Yes. Come on over.
I'll whisper to Zazel. Probably want to get rid of the ghost first, though.
No.
Yeah.
Or
No.
take care
Just,
somehow.
It'll be entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
contract.
Gotta scare people with the ghost.
Yeah, that's right. Our prices are crazy. All right. Well, we'll have you over soon, and you can have that free beer after you're done with your estimate. And she winks.
I look for. And he kind of stops. He's like,
probably.
Have you started brewing beer?
Not yet. We have a few things to clear out first and clean up. Bit of a pest problem.
Is it? Well, if you get the recipe down, if you brew some good beer, I'm sure I can get some of the neighborhood to come and throw some money down for some good beer.
But we have to join the Brewers Guild.
Oh, probably.
Probably.
You would. I think you would. There's also the winemaking guild. They're separate. I don't know why they're separate, but they are separate.
We will import our wine. We don't have a vineyard. At least I don't think we do.
Deal with all these unions.
That's
The
right.
vineyard was in the basement behind all the vinegar.
Turn into dungeons and paperwork.
Basement grapes.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Kid Adventure too busy running the inn.
Waterdeep Tavern ownership.
That's right.
New adventure.
Under dark wine. It's made from mushroom.
It's like The Sims. You're trying to maintain action economy while
You've leveled up. You have an MBA in restaurant and hospitality.
try to up my cooking skills, but end up burning down my kitchen. So yeah, that's a neighborhood. One thing you did know, kind of near the bent nail, was there was a sewer manhole cover. It's like the sewer access. Forever.
Where we're at.
And for some reason, ever since you guys delved into the sewer, you can't notice manhole covers. Now that you're keep your eye out. There's no yellow markings around it though. It's just a regular manhole.
Zazzle's going to take a look. How fresh does it look in terms of having been opened?
The sewer tunnel?
Yeah.
We'll say there's some like crud. It's kind of like formed around it, so it hasn't been like pried open in a little while. Like it's definitely not recently.
Okay.
So
She'll take like a little piece of chalk out and just kind of mark a line between the lid and the street, so that
Sure.
if it gets open and closed, and if she can tell if the lines aren't lining up. I guess that won't last long because of the rain or whatnot, but she'll come back and look at it later. Or actually, you know what? I got another idea. She'll light a candle and set it down there next to the manhole cover, and later she'll come back and pour wax around it, so that if anyone comes up, they'll break the wax.
Sure.
The guy who owns a bent nail is going to walk outside and be like, who the hell left a burning candle outside my house?
Yeah, just like that.
And stomp it out.
Nice.
Wow. There's a picture for everything that comes out of Zazzle's mouth. That remind.
Sure. So yeah, this is basically the neighborhood. If you want to make it back to Troll Skull Manor, if you want.
Go back home. Boop.
Back to our haunted house.
When you get to Troll Skull Manor, you see a knife with like red on it, and it's like stabbed into a sheet of paper that's dangling from your door that says, "Stay away."
No marking otherwise, like a insignia, letters, signature, nothing? Wax seal?
It's written in red letters, and it says, "Stay away." And it almost like finger painting, "Stay away."
Or we'll take the dagger and the note and be like, "Are you threatening me?"
Darn paper!
Let's
trying to get the best of me.
Let's go visit Emic. Maybe Emic Froon might have put that up there.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was just going to say I was going to take the dagger and the note off the door and give it to you.
Are you going to go to like where you were told Emic's place is?
Yeah.
Right.
We have.
Unless the party wants to do something else.
So I'll just type. It's actually say this place right here.
I zoomed out way too much.
I can't remember a spot like that. Let's see. Oh, nope. Just with the K. Emic. All right. So you make your way over to Emic's, which is here. And you see, like, as soon as you walk up to the door, there's like a red handprint on the door. And yeah, there's like a red the door's closed, but there's like a red handprint on like the doorknob.
Okay. Zazzle's gonna knock on the door.
Right. So a guy comes to the door and like opens the door. It's kind of like just a male Luskan human, and immediately he's like, "Oh, what can I do for you?" And you can like clearly see like red paint on his like fingers.
Corvo's still holding the note and the dagger, saying, "Are you threatening me?"
He immediately behind his hand, behind his back, is like, "Are you threatening me with that dagger?"
No, sir. We just wanted to return it to you along with your note.
Yep.
That's not my note.
Oh, well, you've got blood on your hand, or red
red
ink, or whatever that is.
You red-handed?
No!
Good one.
Literally?
I don't know what you're talking about. Stay out of my property. And he kind of like slaps the door in your face.
No. Well, yeah, we're not going to let him. We're going to do the proverbial foot in the door thing. And Zaz will say into his mind, he'll say, "I want to have a chat with you, love.
He's like,
you don't need to get stabby, and she'll nod to the knife, but she's gonna say it in his head telepathically.
He's like flustered and oh well.
We're all armed. I mean, we all have our adventuring gear on us, right?
You let me close my door right now, or I'll call the city guards.
And tell them what? That you just threatened our lives?
Well, it's your word against mine. I'm a reputable person in this neighborhood. You just moved into Troll
I'm
Skull
a city guard member, sir.
Oh, yeah, aren't you in your uniform, Corvo?
Yeah. So Zaz will be like, we have the guard with us.
So we're gonna say that he like doesn't even connect the dots that Corvo is with you guys. He's like, oh, there's a city guard right now, sir. These people won't let me close my door.
That is awful. You should probably let him close his door, and then we can get the city on this.
What?
Well, let's just talk to him.
No. Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm gonna wedge my.
Corvo's just kind of like expressing his opinion. He's not commanding anybody.
Quintus is. You've got your foot in the door. Quintus is gonna like squish his way in there and shove himself between the door and the door jam. So you've now got a shell, a hard shell between
proper
the two
door
things.
Stopper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why did you leave this note on our door?
Keep in mind, Corvo actually was the one that had the dagger and the note in his hands to begin with.
He finally drops his shoulders. He's like, okay, fine, it was me, but you have to. I tried to buy that place, and stupid Volo outbid me. He came in with a high.
Understand?
Why did you?
That was a perfect location. Look at it, half the work's already done. Now I have to stick with this stupid place. And
hold on,
it's more trouble than it's worth.
Hold on, Emmerich. It's Emmerich, right?
Emic.
I'm thinking of my other character.
Yeah, right?
Hold on. We can talk this out, and maybe we all can benefit from the current state of Troll Skull. How about you just let us in? We'll talk it out.
No, you tell me what you're thinking right now. What do you mean, benefit? As far as I can see, we're competition.
Well, you said it was a perfect location. A perfect location for what?
Well, look at the place. Access from... look at those verandas!
Would you like to buy it?
Oh. He thinks about it for a sec. I don't know. I've put all this work into this place now. And you can kind of look in. If you peer around him, you can see that he's built this new bar and stained it, and there's shelves and they're stocked with glasses.
You could make your place like a gaming center, like dragons, chess, cards, dice, that kind of establishment. And we would have a friendly agreement that we won't do those things. We'll have this classy standard darts bar. That's it.
I don't know. I have to do what makes me money. And if that means doing the same thing as you, I'm going to do it. He doesn't seem to get the concept of finding a niche market and differentiate yourself from other people.
Zaz will say, well, it's not really fair to compete with us, and I don't want to make you feel bad, but we have a gimmick.
A really harrowing gimmick.
We have a ghost. Do you have a ghost? Oh, Lord.
People will pay money to see a ghost.
I don't have a ghost. You have a ghost?
How are you going to... Yeah, how are you going to compete with us without a ghost?
Oh, maybe I'll get a ghost. You don't know.
Okay, but, now that we know we have a ghost, we've got a real attraction. The place is worth a lot more than silly old Volo paid for it. If you're willing to
Please
make
tell
us an
me
offer,
he has to roll for that.
I'm happy to roll for it if you want me to.
Good call, Yoda. Do it.
Oh boy,
roll that deception.
tough crowd here.
It's not a
You-
deception, really. To be
It's
fair.
a deception. I'm trying to sell him on it.
Oh, what?
Yes.
So he's like, oh, well, if you have a ghost, I'll get 3 ghosts, and my 3 ghosts will be better than your 1 ghost. I can't believe this. I thought it was bad. This is even worse.
You can have your knife.
cut out for you.
Yeah, give his knife back. It's like, look, we're not here to hurt you. We're not here to cause a fight. But you got to understand, we're a group of armed adventurers with magic and steel and weapons and things.
I'm kind of glad that Corvo's like out of earshot now.
He's like, well,
So
I'm a certified bartender from the Brewers Guild. So good luck being adventurers brewing beer.
well, we could actually probably use you. Why don't you come work with us? Well, why don't
I
you
would work for you guys if
I said
I
work
was broke.
with us. You could.
Yeah, well, we're going to buy beer from the little gnomes in the sewers.
Maybe you could join us as a partner.
He's getting all like the thought of being a partner like turns him the wrong way. He's just like, oh, this is some sort of trick. This is Volo sneaking in with that stupid high bid at the last second again. This is the exact same thing. You watch out.
We should probably tell Volo as part of his agreement is to apologize to that guy.
He's like, next time it won't just be a note on your door. You'll see.
Well, what will we see? Tell us now. We're here now.
He doesn't like.
He'll
He doesn't
have
have, like,
notes, of course.
he's like struggling for a quick comeback, and he's like, well, it's a surprise. You'll see.
Well, so what? You're going to attack us? You're going to try and kill us in our sleep?
Oh no! You got that city guard. I'm not going to do that. But you'll see. And he kind of like just leaves it at that, like it's ominous, but kind of weak. You'll see. He wags a finger at you.
Look, if you want to try and figure something out, we're happy to work with you, but don't do anything silly again, okay?
I told Hazek what happened and how silly it was.
Sounds silly.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have some work to do getting my tavern open. So if you'll just leave and have a good
3
day.
ghosts before he can open.
That's right. Zezel will say to whoever's left in there, the party on the way up, this place could really use a ghost.
He's gonna go outsource some ghosts.
I told Meryl, hey, you could probably swap out his yeast for salt and see how well that goes.
Nah, he's in bad shape to begin with.
Back at
Right.
Trollskull Manor.
Diddle-dee.
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Stately Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
So, just as you're kind of like settling back in at Trollskull Manor,
Another glass. Oh, there's trouble. It's
this guy comes knocking on your door.
Dracula.
I think it's Hazek's turn.
Yeah, whose turn is it to answer the door?
So right away, this person, this person. He's been hanging around the Yawning Portal ever since you guys kind of came into town and decided to try out this adventuring business. You know him as Mert the Moneylender. You've also heard him called Mert the Merciless and Mert the Old Wolf. And he comes like kind of strutting up to your door and kind of knocks confidently.
Like, does he have 2 legs?
2 what?
2 legs.
2 legs?
Yeah, did he
Okay.
loan one?
Thinking of Wirt. Not Mert.
I go over to the door, invite him in, and be like, "Oh, come on in, have a seat at the bar."
Hey, I had heard that people were we're moving into this place, and well, I am Mert the moneylender, and this is kind of a place in disrepair. I was just wondering, maybe you might need some money to fix this place up.
Yeah, come on in. Let's talk.
I was speaking to Volo, and I know Volo was a bit stretched thin, and we had a bit of an argument the other night about him getting funds from me, but then he ended up, I guess, selling this place to you guys.
He didn't sell it to us.
Oh.
He owed us
He
money.
owed us money,
Yeah, he
so
owed-
he gave it to us as collateral.
He kind of like connects the dots in his brain, and he's like, "Oh, that's what he needed the money for. Oh, it's too bad he had to let this place go. But I'm glad that you guys made an arrangement that worked for everybody."
Yep.
Quote unquote.
But
We have
he
some
was
very
looking
fine
to,
aged red wine. Would you like some?
A little on the tart side.
he chuckles. I have my own stock of wine at my place, and I wouldn't want to impose.
Well, this works just as well as a preservative. Do you need that?
He's like, well, so the reason I'm here is I had gone through kind of like the rigmarole with Volo and kind of assessed the place if he wanted to turn this into a tavern. And he had no real intention of like doing the work. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know Volo. It's a lot of talk. It doesn't actually do the work.
Yeah, we know. We're painfully aware.
But I'd say this place, I'd say if you put 1,000 gold into this place, you could have something special.
As soon as he
1,000
says
gold.
that, a floorboard falls from
He's like,
one of the vanities.
Must have
the
been
guild,
actually here.
the guild license and contracts, there is guild fees. But I'd say with guild fees, renovations, I'd put it at 1,250. 1,250 gold. You get a good place here. Probably get them pretty quickly. That's what I'm here for. I don't know if you guys look like the adventuring type, actually more than the tavern type. And he kind of looks around the room.
Yeah. Emmerich going to come help us, but he doesn't know it yet.
Emic? The guy down the
Yeah,
street? Oh,
We heard you loaned him some money to fix his place up.
did he tell you that?
No, we kind of put two dots together. Corvo hands him the note. He already greeted us today.
He like looks at the
How
note.
much-
He's like, oh, he's all like, he's just full of steam. He's harmless. He's a harmless man.
How much is he into you for?
Well, I'm not at liberty to talk about my clients.
Understandable.
But he is a client.
I can neither confirm nor deny that he's a client.
But if he wasn't a client, you could talk about him.
But would you like to be my client?
What are your terms for that kind of a loan?
I'd say reasonable.
Let's see if we feel the same way.
It's like a used car salesman over
Yeah,
here.
right?
He's like, I charge interest on every 10 day.
Okay.
I'm not sure what a reasonable rate is, but he says something that sounds reasonable to you guys. Something along the lines of like 2% interest rates.
2% every 10 days?
Well, actually, we'll make it every month. 2% every month.
So
Every 3 10
12%.
days.
Okay.
Every 3 10 days, 2% interest.
And right, so that's about 12% then. It's actually not bad for a and
Especially since we don't have any credit.
Yeah, well. So, what kind of amortization are you looking at here? What do you want at the end of each month?
Well, he like looks around and he's tries to assess you guys. Let's see how well he assesses you guys.
That number plus that number divided by that number, carry over the 1.
We talking 10-year note, or are we talking a 5-year note, or?
He says, "Oh, well, I can see that you guys might not have the most liquid resources. I don't want to make too many assumptions, but I'm willing to forego the first couple payments until you get the place up and running. Honestly, my main investment is in this city, and I would love to see a property like this not go to waste, but flourish and turn into something great."
We spoke to the local small business owners, and they feel the same.
Okay, so balloon interest payment on the first 6 months. After 6 months, for the first year, interest only, and then we'll am it out on the original principal for 10 years, and interest at the amount that's owed as it ams out. Deal?
Well, we'll have to work out the fine print later.
Sure.
Oh, I thought that was the fine print. Corvo was cross-eyed.
But I'm willing to make a good deal with you guys. You guys look like you have potential.
Well, we're going to have to. We're dealing with some pests right now, so we wouldn't want to agree to lend any or borrow any money until we're sure we're going to make a go of it. Do you want to check back with us in a week?
For sure. You can always mostly always find me at the Yawning Port. Also, have you tried speaking to Jarlester about Lord's Alliance and talking about because you are technically owners of a business now, or potential business. The Lord's Alliance might be able to help you out. And then they might also throw some jobs your way if you know the right people. And he kind of like touches his nose.
Well, at least they're not the Zentarum.
Do you say that out loud?
Oh, yeah.
He says, "Well, what are you doing with the Zentarum?"
Those thugs came around earlier today.
Oh.
And I'm still in a guard uniform, so I'm pretty sure that probably sent a clear message who I work for.
Oh, come on. Half the guards are on the take. You know that.
The other half are with the Lord's Alliance.
Oh, they probably heard about that Floon business. I heard about that Floon business too.
What did you hear?
Well, I heard some brave new faces went down to the sewers and pulled Floon out.
Yeah, that's what, and this place is what we got paid for it, I say.
That's quite the deal. Like looks around, look at this place. Look at all the potential.
Have you ever seen a crawling brain before, sir? That's what we had to face down in those sewers.
Not for a long time, but I had my day. He kind of puffs up his chest.
Zazzle will make a crawling brain by his feet, and as like a silent image, and just point down to it.
He's like, me and Durnan back in the day, we were unstoppable.
You used to adventure with Durnan, huh?
I did.
I saw that guy wield was it a two-handed sword the other day? With the troll or whatever?
Yeah. Two-handed greatsword. He'll even
Cut through that troll like butter, and it didn't get up.
Actually, he gets this, like, Mert gets this kind of dreamy look on his face, and he's like, Grimvault, what a good weapon. I almost claimed that as my own, but Durnan's he's always been better at those bigger swords. Mm-hmm. And he's just like reminiscing. Well, anyways, I won't keep you. We'll talk the fine details at the yawning portal over a nice glass of Durnan's beer.
Say, Mert, before you leave, where would we go to meet up with the Lord's Alliance men to talk about possible work?
Well, I can either send Jarlester your way, or again, he'd probably be at the yawning portal tonight.
Okay, maybe if you're going to be there, maybe you can make an introduction to us.
For sure. I believe you guys probably already know him.
Do we know it? Do we know this person?
It's Corvo's friend from the portal.
Ah, okay. So we have met him.
Yep. Corvo has definitely met this person.
This guy.
Oh, right. Okay.
I swear, with a last name like that, I would be surprised if he isn't a
werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't just say werewolf. He could be a wereborn with a name like Silverback, Silvermane.
Silver Gorilla Black River.
There you go. A were-gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
Their gorilla. Their castle.
Right.
Cool.
Well, we'll have Mert go his way.
Okay, so did we ever find out about local, extreme local, within a block radius or so, of where we could find a priest that might be able to contact the dead?
Well, we did get one clue from the book seller. He said that sometimes objects are involved in specific objects. We found that little crystal ball. Why don't we set that out on the bar and see if anything happens when we talk kind of out loud to the ghost? Would you guys be willing to give that a try?
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Okay.
It's as good as anything.
Hey, and it gives me a chance to actually end this off with a cliffhanger. So as soon as he's kind of set it on kind of like a nice knot in the bar where it won't kind of roll off. And what do you say to the crystal?
Zazzle's going to say, Spirit, we know you're here, and we know you're angry. Can you communicate with us and maybe tell us what we can do to help?
So you see kind of like the smoke start to swirl around in the crystal ball. And then you see this like haunted face with its like mouth gaping open form through the mist. And it's like this woman's face. And it almost looks like she's permanently shrieking. And then the smoke kind of like swirls around the face that appeared. And roll an opposed strength check and beat a 16.
Quintus.
Zazzle?
Zazzle, yeah.
Why is Zazzle? Has he just picked the least strong party?
Yeah.
How about
Well, the person who
Will
spoke to it, yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, this is going to end comically.
That's the plan.
Let's check on a 16. Okay. All right. Hang on.
You give a
Yeah.
bardic inspiration to him.
Awesome. So yeah, like, pushes through the smoke. The smoke kind of swirls around, and you get hit with this force, and kind of like knocked on your ass. Nothing like terrible. It's more comical. You said that. But if anybody wants to roll a religion check, if you guys are trained in religion, you can.
I'm gonna help Azazel up.
Nope.
Well, we've made contact. She says, "I have a point in religion, but I'm not trained. But there's my roll, which is not terrible."
I don't have PB in religion.
Sure. And it would seem that you are dealing with a poltergeist. And we'll end the session there.
Dun dun dun.
It's a poltergeist. Now we really do need Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Who you gonna call?
And actually, one sec. I'm gonna end.
As long as we have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the next session, I'm good.
Well,
Yeah.
then we wouldn't be a tavern. We would have to sell a bunch of sweets.
And
For the
now we're
candy
level
shop.
3. Right, Adam?
Good job, guys. You got to know the neighbors.
Well,
Give
there
yourself
is
a level.
adventuring experience. That's a thing. That you can actually put that into your notes, but I'm pretty sure that this is a curated experience from how everything
Milestones.
is done.
Yeah, milestones. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you to everybody who stopped by and joined us, and the people who were here for all of it, if not most of it. We will be back next week. We're going to pick up Forbidden Lands. I almost called it Forgotten Realms. Forbidden Lands.
I do that all the time.
Next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Adam, for running this.
Thank you.